Today on the Geek Missile podcast. I don't even know how that works. I'm like, how do I have more power than this car?
Well, you're a big guy.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
You can't do that to a woman. You can't go, hey, big girl.
Oh, good lordy. That is a can of worms you can count me out of. I'm not going to be able to edit that out.
Great. You don't have a shirt, which, thank you for that.
It's a safety hazard. You could choke on it.
It's time for the Geek Missile podcast, broadcasting from somewhere in the Pacific Northwest. Now, here are your hosts, Randy and Adam.
All right. Thank you for joining us for another Geek Missile podcast. My name is Randy Howell. With me today, Adam Dieringer. Adam, how are you, sir?
I am doing fantastic today. Glad to have traversed the icy tundras of Spokane and terrible driving in order to get up to this area.
God, I just stopped snowing. That's all I ask.
Right? My car can't even make it out of a 2-inch snowdrift. I have to drive backwards. I pushed my own car because it couldn't pull itself out. I put it in neutral and pushed it out of a ditch.
Isn't that the life in the Northwest? It seems like that is what we do here.
I don't even know how that works. I'm like, how do I have more power than this car?
Well, you're a big guy.
Oh, there we go. Oh man, I get told that. I get that told all the time. Every time somebody's, "Hey, big guy," I'm like, "Are you calling me fat, or is it just a thing?" I know I've gotten broader, but even when I'm like 100 pounds less, people are still like, "Hey, big guy," and I'm like, "All right,
what?
Where did this come from?"
I have no idea. Yeah,
you can't do that to a woman. You can't go, "Hey, big girl."
Oh, good lordy, that is a can of worms you can count me out of. Yeah, jeez. So what's new? Anything?
The biggest things that I've had going on is I ran another group of Dungeons and Dragons, and instead of doing off a book that's published, I did my own homebrew where I wrote everything.
Really?
And it's interesting because I'm like, since no one knows what's going on in the world that I wrote, it makes it a lot more interesting because they're just like, where are we going? And I'm like,
you're really going into a Dungeon with Dragons you don't know.
Exactly. No one can look it up and go, oh, this is going to happen in a few chapters because everyone's played this adventure before. I'm like, no, okay. You're in my world now.
That's so funny. All right. Okay. I'm not going to be able to edit that out.
I think, honestly, I think that's part of the charm is that your dog just came in and crashed.
We do have a fun office. It's in chaos right now. The Geek Missile studios are in transition right now, if you will. Not the other kind of transition, but we're just moving stuff around.
We haven't hit our skyscraper studio yet that we're waiting for, but it's coming.
No. Only way that'll happen, because I ran some numbers, is if we get more sponsors. Then we can get our deluxe apartment in the sky and podcast from there.
If I could guess, a dream sponsor for me would be Diet Coke because I don't have to fight to advertise that one. I'm like, every time anybody sees me, what are you drinking? Diet Coke with some kind of fruit flavor that doesn't belong in a cola.
That's
like strawberry Diet Coke. What are you drinking? It's really good. Leave me alone.
Black cherry pineapple.
Right?
Well, cool, man. What else do we have?
Well, I started watching The Walking Dead, and the most important part about that is that I just thought about zombies in general, and because I know it's going to happen. It's going to be like, man, we're tired of the common cold. Let's try to get rid of that. It's not going to be the cure for cancer that we're trying to get rid of, where we'd be like, well, at least they were trying to get rid of something terrible. It'd be like, oh, this is inconvenient, so let's try to get rid of that. We dedicated science to seedless watermelon just because we didn't want it to spit the seeds out.
Yeah, because if we didn't, it's a safety hazard. You could choke on it. We didn't want anyone to choke.
All that money we've spent millions of dollars on. I've heard about ketchup studies with which one runs the fastest, and I'm like, I don't really care. I just want it to taste good.
Right. If it tastes gooder, then I'm on board. Just give me that.
Everybody's like, oh, you got to get the one without the sugar in it. I'm like, if you want just straight tomatoes, and just cut some tomatoes on your fries.
And squash them.
Right? Exactly.
I know it.
You got to have the sugar. I'm sorry. It's just part of the deal.
Well, it's, I think people that get freaked out by studies are people that don't understand how to cook and what goes into making food, period. So it's just one of those weird, you know what I mean? So to make your own ketchup, it's not just squashing up tomatoes, right? There's a big process to it. But people don't understand that. So they think, oh, well, they just put sugar in it to get you addicted or to do whatever. And it's like, oh, good Lord. Yeah.
Same reason they put salt in soup is so that you get addicted to it, not because it's required for it to not be terrible.
I have a buddy that lives in Meade, and he can't stand. I don't know if he's super sensitive to salt or what, but he'll eat something and go, oh, it's so salty, and it's like, are you kidding? Past the salt shaker, they left it out, but it's cool. I mean, I don't know. Well, I don't know if it's cool, but I mean, I respect the guy for not liking salty foods, which is fine. But it's just kind of a weird,
So salty, Jeff. You're eating an apple. God.
just so. They put salt in the apples. So I was watching a show. A buddy of mine in Seattle suggested it, and it was that comedians in cars getting coffee, something like that, right?
Oh, yeah.
With Seinfeld.
Yeah, Jerry Seinfeld.
God, what a great show about nothing. Again, right? The guy's a genius.
Those are my favorite kind of shows, are the ones where it's just people just doing people stuff, talking about nothing.
Yep.
And, I mean, even just with speaking of coffee, I don't know if you're a coffee drinker myself. I actually drink coffee because I like the stuff they put in it, not so much the actual coffee itself, and the caffeine is nice, of course. So I've been real hesitant to go to any of these gentlemen's, like the Topless coffee bars that we have around here. Because I'm like, what if the coffee sucks? Because then I'm not gonna like it either way. Like I'm like, okay, great, you don't have a shirt, which I mean, thank you for that. But this still doesn't make me want my coffee, which is why I came here.
Right. No, I know there was a lot of guys when I sold cars. They would be like, hey, we got to go to that Topless place. And I'm like, really, man? I mean, you're just, so what? You can see boobs? Just pull it up on your phone. You can look at some boobs and then we'll go sell some cars. I didn't understand the appeal to it.
Oh, yeah, we live in the world of the internet. Not to mention, I feel like any guy who goes through there, like you get added to a list, like where they're just like, these guys came to creep on girls with boobs. And like, you just get added to the same list as like gentlemen's clubs.
Yep.
Everyone knows that's just what you're,
what you're into, I guess.
And it's like, into women, that's fine too, men, whatever. It's all good. But, you're also stating, I will throw my money at people if they take their shirt off, which, I mean, I wish I could do that myself, but nobody wants to see my fuzzy barrel chest. That's just not going to happen.
Yeah. Or anything else that you have that's fuzzy.
Right?
Yeah. No, I get it, man. It's, I guess it's all marketing. Sex sells. So there's some boobs, a little sugar with your coffee, or, yeah, I guess. It's just a weird thing, but I don't know. Hey, I heard Slash with Myles Kennedy is coming to Seattle in June, and I was thinking about popping over for that. Have you heard their music?
No, actually I haven't, but I have a love for Slash, even never having heard his music, just because he was on South Park and they talked about him like he was a mystical creature. And so that alone has made me go, I need to listen to his music, and I haven't, but it's on my list because
that's great.
If he's a big enough icon that South Park picks him up to, talk about him, then I'm like, all right.
Well, he's, I think, probably a little bit before your time, the 80s late 80s, early 90s with Guns N' Roses, but no, he's coming to town, or Seattle at least, coming to the state. And I was thinking about popping over there, and I started looking for flights. And Southwest will pop up and have these great deals. Hey, anywhere in the universe for $59 each way. And but it did not qualify for that. So
I was gonna say, like, the further away you go, the further back in the plane. Eventually, you're just sitting in the cargo hold. Look, we'll get you there for $50, but you're sitting with the cats.
Eventually, and the coffins.
Just. Jesus. I love I do fly Southwest, which, hey, if they want to sponsor us at any point, because I do fly them pretty much most of the time because I like their getaway prices. But no, that's the thing with flying anymore. I'm not going on Alaska because I don't want to get beat up and dragged off a plane. So that's
or United.
Unless it saves me like $50. Like if they're going to punch me, but they'll save $50 off my plane ticket. All right, I'll take a lick.
Well, you're cheap then.
I am pretty cheap. I'll just get me where I want to go.
Yeah, just get me there and you can punch me, take $50 off my bill, we're good. Or they might give you just $50 in drink coupons, who knows?
Oh my God. It's like, I'll take every single small can of ginger ale you have.
Yeah, well, be more than $50 then. Those things are expensive.
Right?
Yeah, when I traveled for work, it was just like, good Lord. Every once in a while, you get your points and you can upgrade to first class, which, have you ever flown first class?
No, but you'll have to tell me about it because I need to know.
It is like, when they allow you to board first, you can be the nicest guy in the world. You could be clergy and just the nicest person in the world. And they say, we would like to have our first class passengers board now. You walk past all these other people as if to say, yes, I am better than you. I am. I knew it. My mom said I was special, and I knew it. I believed her, and I am. Excuse me and get your kid out of my way. I'm in first class.
I have ascended to the top.
And then you sit down, and then you get a beverage, and then you have this feeling of like, are you going to walk past me and look at me? Move on, Creedon. I don't have time for you. I'm in first class.
Enjoy packing your bag with a line full of angry, impatient people behind you. I'll just sit and watch.
We will be deplaning first, too, just so you know.
And guess what? They will fill my drink twice before they get to yours.
I love it. There's just something about first class that you just become a total dick. But and when you get that, though, the seats are wider, they're nicer, and you got more room. But God, it's the weirdest thing in the world how you just become, And then the next flight, you're not upgraded to first class, and then you're sitting back there. Oh yes, I am amongst my people again.
feel like fallen royalty. I used to live among kings.
I had won the lottery once, but spent it all.
Just a couple first class tickets, and I was back in the worker line again.
That was it. They just tease you with it, but it's. And of course, you get your bags. They come down the chute first.
Does that make TSA any easier? Like, if you're first class, do they give you a less rough time?
No, that's a whole different ballgame. That's a whole different club you have to join, and it's like $80, and it's good for the year. So if you're a constant traveler, then yeah, do that. You skip the line, and you get to go to the special line, and there's nobody in it usually.
I didn't know they had a fast pass for the TSA.
Yes, they do. Yeah.
It's kind of terrible but amazing at the same time. Like, they're like, we frisk less in the fast lane.
No, they frisk you the same. It just doesn't take as long. But you still have to go through the metal detectors and all of that. So
They don't pause at your butt when they're frisking. They just keep going.
That's exactly it. Yep.
The benefit of the membership.
Well, you just depending on the airport, you might get a happy ending, but that's about it.
Oh, man. Flying in from... So the worst thing... I'm an emotional person. I've always has been. That's just who I am. And I was leaving people in Missouri. I've been there for 5 years, coming back to Washington. And I was like just a mess, just still like sobbing intermittently. And I was like, oh, God, I have to go to Denver. People are going to beat me up if I'm crying openly in Denver. I just couldn't do it.
Denver's a very liberal town. You're allowed to cry and smoke pot.
Oh, well, that's great, because I had this whole vision of just, there's no crying in Denver.
I used to live there. I like that place. It's fun, but you know what? It does have a little bit of that big city feel to it. Like, you can get on the freeway and drive for 45 minutes and still be in the same area.
Oh.
It's just huge. It's just... And I mean, you're driving, you're going, you're moving, you're not just stuck in traffic. And it's like, geez, this place is so big, it's nuts.
That's ridiculous. No, because up in most of the cities I've lived in Portland, Spokane, and the other cities like that, it's very much just about half an hour and you can get to the edge of the cities usually. It's pretty quick travel time if you're moving at a reasonable pace. And things like that. I enjoy cities I like bite-sized cities where they have towns that I can move into that are just outside the heart, because nobody wants to live in the heart of a city.
No, I know it. And you could drive east and from Spokane, and you're in 45 minutes. You went through 2 states,
right? I'm like, and by the way, if anybody claims they like living, like they love the nightlife or they love living downtown, I'm like, I guarantee you that someone is also walking with pepper spray in their back pocket or keys in their hand, and that is not enjoying a walk home. I don't have to briskly walk from my car to get into my house. I just walk in.
I think as a youth, I probably liked the idea of living downtown, but by no means do I ever want to. And as older, now it's like, are you kidding me? I can't get far enough away from the city. But I don't know that I ever really desired that. Living downtown and just traffic and people, and we don't even live in a big town.
Oh no. I was like, I want to be far enough from civilization that I don't have to deal with them, but close enough that I can still get high-speed internet and go to a store without trouble.
And have access to medical emergency.
exactly. You know.
Speaking of that, did you take your metformin today?
Oh no, I left it at home.
You?
No, I'm pretty sure. Or maybe I did. Nope, definitely not.
No, I took mine.
I was gonna say when I get home, I'll pop one and call it a day. I've been taking it in the afternoons recently, and I'm like, you're supposed to take it in the morning. I'm like, I know, but at least I remember it at some point in the day.
Wake up, brush your teeth, and then
Eat a muffin, pop a metformin.
There you go.
Something.
yeah, I know it's crazy. Anyway, what else is new? Anything cool? Anything at work going on?
Anything as far as work goes for me, it's mostly that my bosses. I've listened to my bosses tell me the same thing for like a year and a half, which is or a year or so, where they're like, don't worry. We understand you want more money, and we're talking with HR about it. And HR's got like, and we've put all these requests in a round file.
Yeah.
That's just
And hit shred.
right. They're just, it's not going to happen.
It's not. That's all right.
And for me, I live comfortably. I don't really have any issues with it. It's more just that, well, if I made more, then I could spend money on more.
On more
things.
stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's how that works.
That's all. It's just I spend more.
I asked my wife to go buy some lottery tickets today. It's a poor man's tax, I know, but I'm willing to pay it on the off chance that I win it. And 342 million. I think half of that, just roughly, I'm in.
Put in my 2-week notice. Leave on the last day with a mariachi band.
You would actually put in 2 weeks?
I would, because I'm afraid I'll Wesley Snipes with my money and just lose it all and then need a job. And I don't want to burn that bridge, because actually this particular company is like one of the better ones I've worked for.
Yeah, no, it's a good company.
Oh, yeah. I took Delsum. We're going to be okay today. I took it right before I left, so I'm like, I got a couple hours in me.
Nice. Well, I think the snow is probably going to end up going away here. And so we've got, we're pretty much at the end of February now.
Yeah, and I'm really glad for that, because for me in particular, February is one of the busiest months of my. It's like I got my dad's birthday, and then my parents, and my girlfriend's birthday lands at the day after Valentine's Day, so there's that.
Yep.
And then my birthday is the week after, and it's just
Super Bowl.
Yeah, the whole month is just flooded. I'm just like, God, I can't wait for March. There's nothing in March.
Nothing, and hopefully no snow.
Oh, exactly. It's like if we could just get just a spring heat that comes through and melts everything off, and then just rain. Rain is fine. I don't mind that.
Yeah. No, rain's fine.
I don't mind if it rains on the mountains and all that, but no more ice. I don't want to have to look dumb to my boss, and he's like, why couldn't you get to work? Well, we had 2 inches of snow, so I couldn't get my car out of the driveway nor down the street. So I just stared out my window and glared angrily at the snow.
I think if you live in the Northwest, they should issue you a four-wheel drive.
Right, you automatically just get four-wheel drive, or at least like, hey, welcome to Washington. Here's your snow tires.
There you go. Or here's your studs.
Right, just a nice courtesy service to make sure because I assume it would be cheaper to give everyone either studs, chains, or snow tires than it is to have to clean up if they crash their car or emergency services and all that. Like, I'm sure it's cheaper.
I'm sure it is too. If they just issued out tires. Well.
I read a study, too, in the same kind of vein where it seems really counterintuitive. But if we gave people who are homeless low-income housing, apparently it works out to be less money than if they just don't have housing and, like, have stuff happen to them, like, go to the hospital or whatever, or all these other projects. It's weird. Yeah. But nobody wants to give somebody a free house. And I'll admit that, even as altruistic as I try to be, if they tell me, yeah, this guy, I know you live in an apartment or whatever, but this guy who said he was homeless, we gave him a house and it's paid for. And we're like, what? What?
Why?
Get out of here.
Why?
Don't do this to me.
Why would you do that?
I have people that I've been friends with and known that are habitually unemployed. And, like, they'll live on unemployment for years, like, years at a time. And I'm like, is there not a cap? There has to be a cap somewhere.
I don't know. No, I got a buddy he has some back issues. He's got some other issues, and so he doesn't work, but he does some work on the side. People help him out. And, it's either beautiful times or dark times in his world, and so I can't live like that.
No, and I feel like if you have like a medical thing, like that's why I'm like Medicare, all that, like for disability, totally on good. But some of the people that I deal with are people that I have in my realm where they're just like I'll have an ex-girlfriend, a girlfriend and her ex-boyfriend who had the baby.
Right.
It's like unemployed for 9 months. I'm like, how do you be a dad and be unemployed for 9 months? That is a long. Like your baby's going to beat you to getting a job. What is going on?
That guy that sits in front of me at work had 3 months off because he had a baby.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't know. Do we pay for that? Like, is that paternity? Do we do?
Well, I think Washington now has that. We now pay like $3 a month out of our paychecks, or something, or $3 a check, or something like that, or a buck a check, and it goes towards that. So that guys, I don't know. I didn't read it, but it was something like that, and I was all right.
I mean, I don't mind because for me, I'm like $3 a month. Eventually I might need that. Whatever. I have sick days here and there, and if that covers it for whatever reason, then
that's a pizza a year,
right? Exactly.
And speaking of pizzas, folks, visit the Pizza Pipeline. They are one of our proud sponsors, and we do appreciate them. PizzaPipeline.com. You'll receive 20% off your order if you order online, and I highly suggest the Gyro pizza. We got to sample that today, and it's a great pie. Did you like it?
Oh man! So. I think the sprinkles they added to it, like the Parmesan that went on top with the tomatoes and the bits of lamb on it as well, all amazing. Very just delicious overall flavor.
I told my wife it was beef, so she would eat it. She wouldn't eat it if it was lamb. But it has that dill sauce on the top.
No, and the whole thing felt very fresh. Like sometimes pizza can feel real heavy, and it was nice eating a pizza that didn't feel super just loaded. Like it felt like it was a light and airy pizza instead.
It was it's a good change from regular, just regular pizza. And that definitely has its place.
Although their pepperoni and cheese pizza, like if you want to go all in and just really enjoy some good pizza.
Yeah.
I don't know how cheese changes from place to place, but Pizza Pipeline in particular, their cheese pizza, like I'm usually like plain Jane cheese pizza, but their cheese pizza, I'm like, all right.
I think they have like a few different cheeses. They have this blend. It's
God.
like a 3 cheese blend or 25 cheese blend. I don't know what's in it, but there's a lot of different cheeses, and I know what you're talking about.
I've never enjoyed plain cheese pizza as much as I do from the Pizza Pipeline. Like anywhere else, I'm just like Domino's. I don't care. I'll slam the other ones. Tell you what, if they make an offer, then we'll have a bidding war. But until that day.
Yeah. PizzaPipeline.com, guys. Go online, check it out. They are a sponsor of the Geek Missile podcast. You can go to geekmissile.com and you can click on that and, order a pie. Maybe you're busy tonight. Maybe you don't have time. Kids have activities. You're busy. Mama Bear's busy. Whatever it is, just go on there. The guys at the Pipeline are going to show up with a nice, fresh, hot pie for you. Take care of it. It's awesome. PizzaPipeline.com. And while you're there at our website, geekmissile.com, you can visit our other sponsor, which is bestsuspenders.com. Now, here's where they come in handy. You end up eating too many pizzas. You become a man of larger carriage. You might need some suspenders. Perhaps you're getting married. You just want to hold up your britches. You want, maybe you want to bring back the Corey Feldman, Corey Haines days, and you want to look that stylish. Go to bestsuspenders.com. Support you can trust.
I was gonna say suspenders alone just look more flashy. Like when you see a guy in an old 50s movie, the era that we always regard as the most proper and gangster and all that, it's always suspenders. They're they never hold your belt. They don't before they go beat up a guy, they don't put their thumbs through their belt loop. They put their thumbs through their suspenders. Yeah,
right,
they put their thumbs through the suspenders. Like, now listen here, Georgie. You're gonna talk.
You're going to get one licking from me, son. That's what I'm telling you.
They put his hands in his belt. They think he was going to molest him, but suspenders are classy.
Yes, that keeps the hands away from that area and shows your intention.
Bestsuspenders.com. I'm going to hit them up myself because I am a man of larger stature.
You should oughta. And when you get there, look around. They have... professional suspenders. They have suspenders for just casual wear. They have them for guys that are out there working, the construction guy, right? You need some heavy-duty, thick suspenders. These things will work well for you. They'll hold up that tool belt for you. But let's just say maybe you own a catering business or you're going to cater an event and you want all your folks to look good. They have great suspenders for that. They're awesome. Really, really fair prices. Looking at it. And I think it's the best way to go. Bestsuspenders.com. Check them out. They're absolutely fantastic. There you go.
Thanks, straight. Oh, actually, and not to redouble because I know we
you don't want to redouble.
But I did have to say it's funny because this weekend I did actually try at Pizza Pipeline. They have rib tips, which I've never had before, and I was like, okay, well, let's see what these are. And they're this delicious, like, I don't like ribs generally because I don't like fighting with a bunch of bones, but the bones that they there's the tips, so they just got these tiny, they're very minute, even some of them don't even have bones at all, and the meat's amazing.
The riblets.
Yeah, the little riblets. Like,
God,
oh my
those are
God.
good. Aren't
like,
they?
I didn't know, and that was the thing. And it was, because I always get their wings, some tricky sticks, and a pizza. That's my main go-to, but those riblets, I was like, oh.
I happened to be down there, and Mike was like, "Here, try these. I want to see. Tell me what you think." And they were real. I'm like, "Is this all we got, or is there more coming?" Because you opened up Pandora's tummy, and I feasted. They were great, and he told me they're a great seller. People love them, and I can see why. They're awesome. That's a good side dish too. I mean, you order some of those riblets. Oh,
that was the thing, and I was like, I don't ever want to harp too much, but I did have to say no. Legitimately, like 2 days ago, I was feasting on those riblets. I threw away the thing today finally because I'm terrible about cleaning my desk. If my desk at work looked like my desk at home, I think I'd actually get a call from security. They're like, "You have 40 cans of soda open on your desk. You need to stop."
You have a retail store going on here, just so you know. I know. Isn't that all right? What else do we have on deck today?
Well, I went ahead and I saw in the last week or two, I saw the new, the Spider-Man movie, the animated one.
Oh, yeah.
Into the Spider-Verse. And I gotta be honest, when I was going into it, I was really hesitant because I'm like, it's animated. I'm not gonna, not that I don't like, because I like Disney movies and Pixar, stuff like that. I think that's all cool. But for Marvel movies, I found that the cartoon ones I don't really get enthused with. But this one was really good.
It was good, huh?
Like, the soundtrack was good. The story was moving. It wasn't the same retelling. We didn't have to see Uncle Ben get shot down again. It's just how many times we got to shoot Uncle Ben? We get it.
Is that his name, Uncle Ben?
It's usually, yeah, Uncle Ben is always the old grandpa who says some form of, well, you've got to be responsible because you've got powers now. You're a young man.
When you said Uncle Ben, I went right to rice.
Right?
That's why I said that.
Do you think he told his son the same thing? With great rice comes great responsibility. You can't just make it willy-nilly.
You have to choose between our rice business or being a superhero. You can't do both. Unfortunately,
the first generation all chose rice. And now we have minute rice, which...
Black sheep of the family. Well, cool. So it was a good movie?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was very well done. The animation was superb. The acting felt good. There's moments where you get hit in the feels where you're just like, you just really... they did well to write the story, and it didn't feel the same. Like, it's really nice. Because it deals with an alternate universe, so it felt alternate enough that it didn't feel like the same story again.
Yeah.
All right. But no, it was. It was a good movie. It was just nice to see a Spider-Man movie where I think everyone could agree that it was good and not worry about the Tobey Maguire debacle. I will fight that battle forever, but most of the people I know do not like him.
Why is that?
I guess they couldn't get over the Spider-Man 3 thing where he was like with black hair and like tap dancing around the town. And,
sure. Yeah, it got dumb.
Too many villains. And I think their issue was they focused on too many villains more than it was a Tobey Maguire issue. But I'll never win that fight with the people I know. But the last two Spider-Mans, the one that was animated and also the one, not Andrew Garfield, but the younger kid from England whose name I just can't, like Tom Holland maybe?
I don't know.
Yeah, the younger kid in the Avengers, he's doing a pretty good job at it too. So
yeah, I like the Avengers one. I thought he was, he was good. Yeah, he was cool. It just sounded like he had just hit puberty.
Yeah, he definitely, yeah. I think they did that on purpose. I think they're trying to aim for as young as possible.
Yeah.
It's weird though because it's that kind of makes a break in the. I guess they just assume Uncle Ben just died sooner, but it kind of puts that break because it wasn't supposed to happen until he was like high school. And is he supposed to be in? I guess he is in high school, but he's so small.
College, isn't he?
Yeah, he's so small compared to the other ones.
Yeah.
Like he looks legitimately like a young kid compared to how tall and obviously in high school or almost out of high school the usual Peter Parkers are.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. So, thinking of that, who would win in a fight? If we did like, let's take the new Spider-Man, the younger one, right?
All right.
Versus the younger Luke Skywalker.
Younger Luke Skywalker.
Luke Skywalker and would you say the current Superman?
Oh yeah, So you said young Superman versus versus Luke Skywalker.
Well, the Avengers Superman versus younger Luke Skywalker. Who would win?
If I had to put those two in it, they say bullets bounce off him, but I'm wondering if like hot heated plasma could go through him and cut him in half. Because I think if you could cut him into bits, you could at least inconvenience him. But
Spider-Man?
It's not Spider-Man.
Who are you talking about?
Oh, you said Superman.
Oh.
You said Superman, so I thought we were changing. I was like, what the?
Maybe I'll join the podcast then and just stay with what we're talking about. No, I was talking about younger Spider-Man, Avengers Spider-Man.
Okay.
Spider-Man.
I was gonna say, there's just a slip there, but I was like, okay, well, another day for that one then.
Yeah,
but for Spider-Man versus Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, young Luke Skywalker, original Luke Skywalker, not older
Not
hermit.
older.
Yeah.
Who still pulled off some pretty fantastical stuff, but
was it fantastical?
it was. I thought it was fantastical. I was like, well done, good job, force play and all that. But okay, so if we're talking black, are we talking like he just started the journey, like New Hope? Or are we talking like he's got the black edgelord clothing on, and he's taking out Jabba, like this is his. He's at that third. Where are we in the franchise?
No, original, like Star Wars.
Okay, so that's what I'm.
The 79 version or whatever year it was.
I was trying to figure out like how far in the journey, because like is Ben Kenobi still alive in his life?
Yeah, Ben Kenobi's there. They just witnessed Uncle Luke and Aunt Beru dead at the entrance of their Adobe
so we're still partway in
hut.
the training phase. Okay,
yeah.
Fair. So I would say that, because it's interesting because you're comparing Spider Sense, this like Spidey tingling to like the imminent danger, to the Force, which also gives you a edge in telling when danger is there, but I think better at it. I think the Force is better than Spidey Sense.
I mean, Spider-Man can shoot a web at him, right, and try to stick him. But if Luke has his lightsaber, he can whack that thing.
Then that was my thing too. Is I'm like, if he can manage to get the to actually slice the web through, he'll be fine. But if that hand gets caught on a wall, or if that lightsaber goes away, then I think
he doesn't have anything backing him up.
He's got to like try to force pull and push things, and I don't even know if he can do that without a free hand. I haven't seen anybody use it without it.
At the point in which I was referencing Luke Skywalker, he hadn't developed his skills yet. He had a lightsaber, and he wasn't listening to Ben Kenobi. No, don't go back there, Luke. And he goes back. He sees Aunt Beru and Uncle Owen dead. That Luke Skywalker, he's just learning how to use his junk at that point, right? He's
just getting the bearings on it,
right?
So I think now we have to think about location, because if they were like thrown in in a small room, I think Luke could do it. If they were in a room that didn't afford Spider-Man as much mobility, but I think if we're talking like an arena, like a sizable arena with at least 30 feet of distance and some ceiling room, I think Spider-Man could hold him there. I think he couldn't do anything about it.
Really, that's a tough one. Well, let's do this. Let's create a poll. All right. So, folks, listening to this, if you have any comments, if you have any ideas, if you want to throw in on this, you want to weigh in on it, go to geekmissile.com. and drop us a line. They're down at the bottom of the website. You can throw out an opinion on who you think would win, but I think that's a good matchup. I think it's Luke Skywalker, the original Star Wars, that Luke Skywalker, and I think we've got a fight, man. I think we've got
Yeah,
that's a tough one.
I think they're both young enough and inexperienced that it'll be entertaining to watch them both try to stumble through the fight to get to each other.
Yeah, it'd be like putting two 5-year-olds in a ring. But yeah, I think that's that would be a good matchup. So go to geekmissile.com, drop us a line, tell us what you think, give us your opinion on it. If you think it's even worth arguing about or discussing, let us know that too. But I'd like to hear other folks weigh in on this and see what they think, because it's that's one that'll probably keep me up for 10 minutes.
Well, I was going to say pitting Marvel fans against Star Wars fans, but now that they're all part under the same blanket, now I feel like now it's like a family feud now that they're actually all under the same umbrella now.
It's like Uncle Jesse from Dukes of Hazzard.
Exactly. It's just...
And, I don't know, Roscoe?
It's like just a fist fight on the backyard with a bunch of Pabst Blue Ribbon.
That's what it is. It's a Pabst Blue Ribbon fight. Oh, that's funny.
Which I actually, so this is gonna seem weird, but it's related. So when I think of beer that's more low end, like doesn't cost a lot and just to get drunk, I think of Pabst Blue Ribbon. But I just saw a beer that was like an elder hops beer here in the Northwest.
Yeah,
it was $2.49 for a 6-pack at a gas station, which is pretty, right? Oh yeah, and I didn't. It was too hoppy for me because I drink some beer, but I don't like it when it's all gross and bitter. I like to like what I'm drinking.
Yeah, me too.
It's just which means I'm drinking either things that don't clash well with diabetes, not that alcohol does to begin with, or just making it worse because there's also sugar on top of it.
Right. And because of the commercials, I think there's corn syrup in there too now. But no, I'm a Coors Light guy. Just give me a Coors Light. It's as fancy as I want to be. On a dress-up occasion, I will order a Kokanee. But I don't know. Yeah, I'm not a dark, hoppy beer guy.
Blue Moon's about as heavy as I get.
I do have Blue Moon upstairs.
Yeah, and they put that orange slice in it. I'm like, that's fancy.
That is fancy.
They have the orange slice, and it's pretty much if you give me a side of fruit with my beer or my alcohol, I'm like, ooh, look at this. They've stepped up their game.
That justifies me drinking it.
Right, exactly. I'm like, I'm being healthy. I'm getting my fruit intake for the day.
Imagine if we had a Spodie.
So much fruit. How much fruit did you eat? Oh, half a barrel, but it was filled with alcohol, so I don't know if that counteracts it or not.
That's funny. Well, I think that pretty much covers our day today.
Yeah, I think we had a good weekend. We wrapped it up, and I'd say a Geek Missile successfully launched today.
I think so. Relaunched.
Yeah, relaunched again.
What do the kids think? All right.
Yeah.
They seem happy. Well, I'm good with that. Folks, thanks again for listening to us. We do appreciate you downloading and listening to the Geek Missile podcast. Thanks for your support for visiting our sponsors and stuff like that. So we couldn't do this without you. So our hats, if we had them on, would be off to you. They're off. Our hats are off to you. We'll put them on and then take them off for you.
I'll put on a fedora, tip it, and then take it off just for you.
Do that. Thanks, kids. Have a great night. Have a great day. Whenever you listen to this, have an awesome tomorrow, and we will see you later.
This has been a Geek Missile production, and it was almost professional. We thank you for listening.